Let's make some mid-20th century aprons and work caps. So this is an interesting project. I wasn't planning on filming this. This is what I need for modern wear. And it didn't occur to me until I already made one up that, wait, this is all vintage stuff. I do vintage stuff on my channel. I should film this. So we're going to make the rest of them. But anyway, I am armed with an original cap pattern. I don't know where I found it, but if I find where I found it, I will link it below. But it's one of my favorite style of work caps. A lot of times I just wear a bandana or a handkerchief, which I don't think is very flattering, but I like the look of this one, how full it is in the back. And I like wearing caps for work basically because, well, several reasons. For most of human existence, I suppose, women wore caps for working. And there's several reasons for this, including one, it helps keep your hair neat. When you're doing hard labor, sometimes your hair will fall out, especially your hair is thin and fine like mine. So it helps keep it a little bit neater. Helps keep it clean. So if you're dusting or just doing cleaning stuff, it keeps all that out of your hair. And it also just helps keeping loose hair from falling on your face. So several reasons that we wear caps. So I wanted some caps. And so I've already made one up. I had all these handkerchiefs that I've just been wearing for bandanas, but I made one up. This one is like 3 bananas put together. And I put lace on the back of it, which probably isn't a historically accurate choice, but it's a little bit more fuller in the back and covers more, which I like. Actually, because I used 3 this time, I did not need this long of a tail, so we're going to cut the tail down on the next one. I also recently bought a lot of aprons for $3, and this was in that lot. And it's literally 3 handkerchiefs. And it's just a cute little apron, and I think it provides nice coverage. It's a good little apron. So we're going to make, I already had that one made, we're going to make 2 more headpieces and 2 aprons. I think we're going to start with the headpieces and move straight on to doing this. This should be incredibly simple. She even left all the edges raw. So yeah, this is going to be like super simple. I bought all these handkerchiefs off Amazon. They are not historically accurate, although I think these just by default are. They look very similar to the apron at least, which I don't know how old that apron is. It could be 30s, it could be 70s for all I know. I have no clue. I already have this one cut out. Essentially, it's just 2 handkerchiefs sewn together. So first step is to sew the handkerchiefs together. They're 18 by 18, and I'll put the links for these in the description. I don't know if anyone would be interested, but they're what I found off Amazon. They were fairly cheap. You got several of them, and I like their look, so I'll put them in case anyone else wants to. So the first step is I just took 2 of them. I didn't even, I just put one on top of the other and just stitched it right down, and now I have a seam down the center of both handkerchiefs sewn together. I'm gonna fold it in half right on that line. Overlay my pattern. These 18-inch ones are exactly right for this pattern. It is, again, a little bit short on this end. So if you need extra space, if you have a larger head, you may need to get 3 handkerchiefs per color. I found that was a bit much, so I'm just going to do 2. And then it's just quite simple, so you just cut it out. I did not add seam allowance last time, so I don't think I'll add seam allowance this time. Now I have a little bit left. It's not big enough to make really anything out of. It's not big enough to make even a kid's one out of, so I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but a little bit of scrap fabric left over. It's not the most economical shape of pattern, but I get basically what looks like this. So my next step is I'm going to go to the ironing board. This front piece is already hemmed, which is so nice. It's narrow hemmed. I'm going to add lace to the back just because I bought the lace to go onto the handkerchiefs to make it look a little nicer. I don't think it would be a historically accurate choice, but this isn't necessarily a historically accurate thing. This is something that's basically vintage inspired. So I'm going to fold up any type of raw edge, so basically all the way around this little circle, and just kind of do a very narrow hem. I'm not going to sew it, just iron it. We're going to stitch the lace on and do the hem at the same time. Next up, after ironing, I have it all nicely pressed. We're going to add in the lace. I'm going to use just this cotton lace for the green. And that, of course, is already sewn and that's already sewn. So we're going to start it right here. Just put that on top. And we're going to stitch the hem as well as the lace on at the same time. And I found with corners, if you just go to the edge, put your needle down, and allow it to fold over that way, it works. Totally should have gotten out the 1930s machine. I've just been using this one for a lot of projects lately, so I just automatically went to this one. that's what it's looking like. So just a little bit of an edge. Not that it's super important to look pretty while you're doing work, but sometimes it makes you feel better. Also, I have no idea if there's any science behind this, but I have found when I get dressed up in halfway decent clothes and put my hair up and then do work, I get a lot more done than if I wear my ratty clothes and do work. I don't know why. I don't know if I just feel motivated because I'm dressed up, and maybe psychologically that means, oh, people are coming over and I have to get things done really fast. I have no idea why, but I do get a lot more done when I feel like I look nice. Which is weird, because you would think if you're doing work, you probably don't want to look nice. You don't want to ruin your nice clothes. But that's what aprons and caps are for. So I'm like super curious. Are y'all the same way or not? Can y'all get as much done wearing your ratty clothes as you can wearing semi-nice clothes? Alright, I have the blue one to do next. I am using a bigger lace this time. Alright, this should be a very quick project, because the handkerchief's already hemmed, so it makes it a little bit easier. So, I need a full handkerchief for the center part. I need to cut one diagonal into triangles on the bias for here and here. And I need to cut the other one just in half, right down here. So let's start with the pink one. This can be my whole one. We're going to put two opposite corners together for the one on the bias. Cut it straight down here. And this one, we're just going to match two corners. And cut right down the center. Alright, let me look at this. Alright, so bottom ones are put on first. So we have here, I'm going to go ahead and mark the center here so I know exactly where to end this. So there's my center. Right sides together, we're going to match up this corner and match it up at the center. Wait, yeah, that is right sides together. Okay. And it looks like we just have some very few tucks, just 3 little tucks. They look to be roughly inch wide tucks, but I think that would depend on your size handkerchief. Put another one on this side. Oh, that's a much bigger one. And the same thing on this other side. So match that to this. Find roughly as we're pointing the pleats towards the center of the apron. So now I have a handkerchief with a ruffle on the bottom. I'm just going to stitch right down there. She used 1/4 inch seams. So now we have ruffles on the bottom. Right sides together, we're going to put down the bias bit. And because this bias is going to stretch just slightly, it is not quite, at least mine isn't quite long enough to go all the way from top to bottom, but it's super close by like 1/2 inch. So because bias does thankfully stretch quite a bit, we're able to kind of ease this in. And depending whether I want to put lace across the whole of it, I don't know. I feel like I have enough lace, but I will go in and stitch this, and then we'll make that decision, I guess. Alright, the original I used is cotton fabric. I'm going to use twill tape because I have a ridiculous amount of it. And we're just going to stick that right in there. There's no gathering or anything, at least not on the original. So I'm going to sew basically a giant rectangle. So from like here all the way down, back up, and across, so that this top gets sewn as well. And we will have a completed apron. Let's do the blue one. So again, pick one to stay what it is. Let's go ahead and cut this one in half. And this one catty corner. Or any of these sides even? Yeah, we'll go with this. Probably should have checked to see which one was the most even before I cut any of them. This is the center, right? Sometimes I fold them and they're not exact. Double check. And we get to do the exact same thing. Let's sew this up. cutting board. So you're very nice and crisp. Splits it down. And none of these seams were finished. Ooh, okay, that burned a little bit. That's why we iron things on the wrong side. Yeah, none of these seams are finished. I mean, the edge of the handkerchiefs is already finished. But any of these raw edges that we created by cutting aren't finished on the original, so we're gonna leave it as is. Now it just looks like really strange. This would not at all help with the side wipers, would it? Oops. This one is darker than the other two. Now I'm confused. Hang on, I think I have extras. There should be one. Oh, I see it now. Yeah, this is the same shade as the other two. Okay. I will find something to do with those halves. I don't know what it'll be, but I'll find something. Let me go ahead and, well, iron this first. Alright, let's put on a waistband. These are like the daintiest aprons. They're gonna be nice tidying aprons. These are not dirty work aprons. But let's go ahead and sew this on. Oh, by the way, I cut the waistband, because I doubled it up. So I cut it 120 inches, which then folded in half is 60 inches, which goes around my waist about twice, because I like to have a nice big tail in the back. Also, later down the road, pregnancy, future weight gain, whatever happens, I want to still be able to fit in it without having to add to the ties. Alright, so sewing on the waistband at the last little bit. I thought I had the camera on, and apparently I didn't. So yeah, just sewing it on, stitching at the very edge, stitch all the way across here. It looks decent. I probably should have picked a white twill tape, which I probably have up there. It's just, I have a hard time getting to my trims and notions right now. I have them organized in two boxes in terms of, there's the 19th century box, and there's a 20th and 21st century box. The thing is, everything in there is just loose, and I haven't figured out how I'm going to organize all that yet. I have plenty of wall space. I have no space for any more furniture, so like a chest of drawers or anything like that is out of the question. But I have like balls of velvet ribbon, reels of twill tape in all different colors and sizes, trims of all kind. That's kind of what's in there, and I need a way to organize that to where I can see what I have a little bit easier. So I don't know if shelves and smaller boxes is going to be the answer, or if there's just a better way of doing it. But yeah, I need to figure that out. What I'm saying is, if you have any awesome ideas, I would love to hear them. Alright, real quick, I'm gathering all the things so we can see what they all look like. But I realized I had something else to show you. So a very sweet subscriber sent me something. And it's a very old, very nicely embroidered handkerchief. So I'm just going to open this up. And we can look at the beautiful white work. Find the right side for you. It's a nice linen. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's smaller than mid-19th century, so I'm guessing later 19th century, perhaps turn of the century. But I'm not an expert on handkerchiefs, but it is absolutely exquisite. Like, look at that. So thank you, Pippa, for sending this to me. It's a lovely piece to add to my collection. Anyway, I wanted to show it off because it is gorgeous before I go put it in one of my boxes and wrap it with acid-free tissue paper and keep it all nice and protected. Let's gather up all the things and take a good look. Alright, so let's try some things on. Let's first try on maybe the green headpiece. I feel like this is going to give a lot more coverage than a bandana would. Plus I actually have room to tie it back here. Some of those bandanas get quite tight. And if I was really working, which I'd probably actually have my hair up instead of down. I guess that's right. It does go down quite far. Let's see, just so you can see like what the original apron doesn't quite tie around me. That's that apron. I like the shape of them and the fact that it was already hemmed, because narrow hemming takes the longest. So, tie it on, and I already have, oops, my hair is too long for this. I already have a tie in the back with the skirt, which I don't have to tie the skirt in the back, I can tie it in front too. But yeah, I look very springy today with my green and pink and blue pastels, which is weird. I don't particularly tend to go to pastels, but This was the only cling top I had, and then I had to go with something for a skirt that wasn't corduroy because it's getting warm. I didn't want to wear corduroy, and this is the only thing that would match with this shirt. So yeah, I ended up wearing pastels entirely today, and now I'm wearing pastels as an apron as well. Not generally my favorite. But yeah, for the back. Now let me untie this without untying my skirt. Headpiece with the pink apron. I technically have this one that also matches the other apron, but I made this before I started filming, so y'all didn't see this one being made, but I have this one as well. Again, they are quite long, but they do their job of covering very well. Apron on. There's the pink one. But yeah, there's that. Misty the exact same thing in different colors, which I actually do like. Like, I have about 3 or 4 of these tops. I have the collar tops I've been wearing a lot recently. That's in the World War I pattern. I have 3 of those right now. I have 3 more cut out, and I probably have fabric left over from another blouse because I bought way too much for about 6 more, and I love that style of blouse. So doing the same thing in like different colors is awesome. I think the only skirts I wear now are the same pattern. I just have 6 of them right now. I have 3 more links on the floor right now to be made up as soon as I get a spare moment. So I am a huge fan of having just like 3 looks in my wardrobe, just in all different colors, styles, and patterns. It makes matching what I want to wear super simple. I don't have to worry about style at all. All I have to worry about is, do the colors work good together? If you wanted to, I think it would be very easy to add pockets to these if you just had either some scrap paper that looked good, or if you had a 4th handkerchief, which these particular handkerchiefs came in a set of 16. So you got 8 per color. You got the blue and the pink. And they had 3 different colorways as well, or 2 different other than the one I got. It's kind of the same thing. You get 16, but it's 8 of each color. So you will have enough for, 3 for the apron, a 4th one for pockets, have 2 for the headpiece, if you want to do it matching, and you would still have 2 handkerchiefs left over that could be used as actual handkerchiefs. So that was really nice. These came in set of 6. You got 2 handkerchiefs per color, but in 3 colors. So I have this in blue, I have it in green, and I have it in pink. I could only find 1 pink handkerchief. I had to find the other pink one so that I can have the pink one made up. So I only have the blue and the green one right now. I was looking for the blue one and I realized it's on my head. That's why I looked down a second. Also, I did find the links for these specific handkerchiefs if you're interested. I did sign up for an Amazon affiliate thing, so I'm going to get like a few cents or whatever if you decide to purchase them. No pressure whatsoever. Just know that the links are affiliate links, and I will earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. And those links are going to be down in the description. And you know what? If the lace was also from Amazon, which I'm 95% sure it was, I'll stick that in there as well. And that way, if you wanted to, you could just make this exact project. Super simple. You have the tutorial now. It will work with basically any handkerchief you can do. I think it'd be actually kind of cute to get several different ones that maybe that are like embroidered or whatever, and like maybe flowers or something. They're kind of similar color scheme, but different different handkerchiefs, and making an apron out of that. I think that would be super cute. Great way to thrift some handkerchiefs, or if you have some laying around, this would be great. These handkerchiefs are at least 16 inches, and I think these ones were 18 inches. So I definitely wouldn't go any smaller than this, because you can see, like, it's a good size apron, but I don't think you'd want it any smaller than this. So I would stick with like 16-inch handkerchiefs or more. But I absolutely will put those links for you in the description. If I forget, y'all are great at reminding me, saying, hey, you forgot the link. I appreciate that, because I forget things when I upload things. I say them in the video, I hear myself when I'm editing, and then between the 30 minutes for that video to upload and me actually putting it on YouTube, I forget all the things I told you I would link. So I do appreciate when y'all point out, hey, we would like this pattern, could you please put that in there? As soon as I see those comments, I usually go in immediately and put it in. So I appreciate that when y'all do that. But with all that being said, thank you so much for joining me today as we made our little vintage work caps and aprons. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Click that little bell notification so you're notified anytime I upload a new video. And as always, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you back here in the next one.